Good evening. So happy you're joining us for Good News on Entertainment tonight. I'm your host, Carley Boyette. Tonight we are focusing on two movies coming to the theaters this month. The first is a movie called I Can. It's based on the true story of Katelyn Pavey, who defied the odds to become the first All-American athlete from Lanesville, Indiana, to play college softball on a scholarship and do it all with just one arm. But also impressive, it's her church and pastor that wrote and helped produce this film. I had a chance to talk with both of them about what they are hoping and praying for as this film hits theaters nationwide September 22nd.
I think I found the best play I've seen in a long time.
Wait, is this the girl with one arm?
We did not bring her into this world the right way. She didn't come out the right way.
Let's call it what it was, an affair.
You have an incredible gift from God.
You think God is punishing you for what we did through our daughter's arm?
People already look at me differently. Why didn't God stop that?
I know lately it feels like you've been on a losing streak. Maybe all of us, huh?
You can't keep living your life like God is punishing you.
You carry so much burden on your shoulders that you clearly can't handle.
Look around and see how much God He's blessed you.
God don't make mistakes. He's got a plan in all of this. He always does.
I had a chance to tell y'all before I got started, Tyler, I just am so in love about what God is doing right now with media and film and how churches are getting involved. And there's just something that's so powerful about storytelling and testimonies and doing it in this way that obviously you see as a pastor and as a filmmaker as well. So tell me a little bit more about that.
When we set out to make the film, we asked the question, like, if one person's life was changed, like if Jesus entered one person's life because of this film, would it be worth it? And we answered yes, obviously. And so the whole thing has been super tiring. A couple of years of my life spent on it, but every bit of that tiring is equaled out by like double the amount of reward. Testimonies and stories are super powerful. That's how we communicate as humans. And so some people might not ever step foot in a church, but they might go see this film about a one-arm softball player and then hear the gospel message in a way they've never heard it before through something like this.
Well, and talk about your relationship, because this is what I think is so cool. I mean, this really is such a personal story because you are Katelyn's pastor too, right? I mean, this is, you've watched this story unfold in front of you.
Yeah. I've known Katelyn now for about 10 years or so. We watched her grow from like high school kid to college athlete to I'm performing their wedding the week before the movie comes out. And so this has been just a really special, beyond how awesome the story is, it's been really special personally for me to be involved in their lives in a pastoral sense as well.
Katelyn, what are you hoping? Congratulations. This is man, what an exciting next couple of weeks here you have. What do you hope people take away from your story?
Well, actually, Tyler came up to my family and I and asked us 3 times. And all 3 times we denied him. We said no. And, the reason why we said no was we didn't feel like our story needed to be shared. We thought, there was other people that needed to share their story. We didn't want all of our sins to be displayed on this big screen because everybody's going to be seeing that. And we didn't want to be looked at as differently, like being on a pedestal. But Tyler posed that question and was like, well, if you could help one person, find and follow Jesus, would you do it? And that's what ultimately led us to saying yes. So that's how we began making this movie, is because if we can help one person, that we're going to do it.
So, Tyler, this is fascinating to me. There's never even been a film or a movie remotely close to anything like this as far as softball related. Yeah. And really this theme too of feeling because of the parents' sins, feeling like it's carried over into their children.
Yeah. I even if you don't have a kid that you think something happened because of your sins and it's transferred into the kid, everyone has something in their past that they're ashamed of. Guilt and shame in our culture just runs rampant. And we wanted to let people know that in Christ, there is no more condemnation. And so once you've made that decision to follow him, he piece by piece starts taking that stuff from your past and he uses it in the future for his kingdom. And that's what we've seen through the Pavey family. But it's not always easy to relate to that because we want to hang on to the guilt and shame. So hopefully through this film, somebody somewhere hears that with God, they really can overcome that past and he can use them in a mighty way, like he did with the Pavey family.
Talk about what the goal, because if I remember right too, I thought I heard there may even be like a Bible study or some kind of, there's resources after this. And then also mention where the money from even this film where that's going to. I mean, just the legacy that this story alone and this film is going to have long after people see it in the theater is pretty incredible.
Yeah, you can find out a lot of information about all of that stuff on our website, which is icanmovie.info. But we wanted this to be way beyond just making a film. We wanted it to be a mission. We wanted to help people find and follow Jesus through this. And unfortunately, it's really easy to kind of serve two masters when large amounts of money get involved, like in the entertainment industry. So we made a decision that we're not going to do that. We're not going to serve two. We're going to give 100% of the theatrical profit away to ensure that we never do this for any other reason than simply to help people get to know Jesus. And so we're giving 100% of the theatrical profits towards underprivileged kids, at-risk kids, disabled kids. We're partnering with a bunch of organizations all over the country. And all of it is going to help people as much as we possibly can.
Katelyn, what's the message that you would want to add to that about maybe inspiring others who may be, obviously people may not be able to relate exactly to your story and the challenges that you had to face, but there are a lot of kids and a lot of youth that I think are battling things, that are on the outside seem like a disadvantage, but you can use them. God can use them for his glory.
Yeah, so like a big theme throughout the movie is God doesn't make mistakes. And I was told that as soon as I was born, my grandma told my dad, God doesn't make mistakes. God made me this way for a reason. And to just let other kids know that, no matter where you came from, no matter what you look like, no matter who you are, God has a purpose for you and he has a plan for you. And you just need to trust in that and that you can do all things through him.
Amen. I love it. Tyler, so what's next? I hate to, again, it's like you have one baby and go, okay, when's the next one coming? But what is the goal? Because I'm just so fascinated that as a church family that it seems like you wanted to continue this. There's more stories to tell, right?
Yeah. So what's next is we actually just wrapped up filming. It's a 4-part miniseries and it's modern retellings of the parables of Jesus. And we're actually targeting prisons in the state of Indiana, which is where we're from. So it's going to be distributed to every prisoner in the state, and then it'll be out on streaming for everybody else. But we wanted people to hear specifically stories about lost people, and Jesus told a lot of those. So we took his parables and we made them into a mini series, like a Netflix style, and we'll see how God uses it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll give you guys the last word. Invite people out to go and see this in theater.
Opening weekend is super important for any film. So September 22nd is when it comes out. If you go to our website, icanmovie.info, it has all the theaters and show times, and those are actually being updated quite a bit. We're adding more every single day, it seems like.
And you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at icanmovie just to get all the info. Just go out and support the movie, support a local church, support, what God can do, and just see what he can do through others. So.
Let's see what God can do through this movie. I love it. Thank you both so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Again, the movie is in theaters September 22nd. Now, along with seeing some familiar faces in the film like Cameron Arnett and Danielle Roebuck, you will also hear a familiar voice as well. Gospel artist Carvin Winans was inspired to write a song for the film. Yes, Carvin Winans, the Grammy Award-winning singer from the very famous Winans family. Well, I got a chance to visit with him too and hear about how this movie inspired him as well.
I would do anything to make all of this better for you. But only God can do that, honey.
Why didn't he?
What?
I lost my chance at the scholarship. Senior year, gone. College, gone. Why didn't God stop that?
I can, 'cause you promised to be with me. I can, just as long as your spirit lifts me. I can, and I will, by your grace, I will, I can, because you said you would never leave me, so I can. If you will always lead and guide me, I can, and I will.
Carvin, so nice to get some time with you today and to hear your beautiful voice. How are you?
Good, Carley. How are you?
Good, good. I was telling you before we got started, I love that this movie, it's just got all these really neat nuggets of when you see of like, oh, wait, this person is involved and this person is involved. And to hear, again, your gorgeous voice at the end of this movie, people are going to be able to hear that song. But tell us how you got involved with this story and said, you know what? Yes, I want to help write something for this.
Well, I got involved. I was introduced through a friend of mine named Bob Cotton to Paul Long. And I've been living in California for about a little bit over a year now. And I went to Capitol Studios to sit with Paul and talk with him. And he told me about the show The Chosen. And I started watching it. And then we just became, our friendship started to grow. And he had this movie that he wanted me to check out. I can. And I said, okay, I'll check it out. He said, check it out and see if you feel if God is leading you to write something and so as a songwriter, I love to write. I just love to write. I think that might be the most interesting part of being in the music business is the writing, because you can kind of put your story out there, and so I watched the movie. I was very moved by it. I thought it was done very well, and God just began to work with me on the lyrics, right? And so I didn't have to go too far for the title because the movie is called I Can, right? And so I kind of just stuck with that theme, and God just began to give me some lyrics, my wife Cherie, and also I had another co-writer on it by the name of Courtney Frazier. And so we just began to collaborate and put this song together, and we came up with what we had.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Job well done.
So much. Thank you.
What is the message that you think you would like to kind of contribute? Kind of what was your thought in processing all of that, and maybe what God was showing you kind of through their story?
Yeah, well, just take it using the theme I can. A lot of times, even in my journey in music with me and my brothers, we went out to California and we would always write our own music. Marvin had started writing music at an early age. And so we would record some things. My dad would take us in the studio and spend his own money to record some things. And so my dad and I, one day we flew out to LA and we met with a representative at ABC Records. And so we played the demos and stuff. And he told us, he said, this music is kind of contemporary. I don't think you guys would ever make it in this business. Yeah. And then I looked at him like that, Carley. I said, like, really? He said, now you need to sound like this person or that person. And I don't think you guys ever make it. And that kind of stuff, when people say you can't do certain things, I just feel like, okay, all right. He said I can't, but I know through God, I know I can, And so when I saw the movie and it reminded me of my journey when it came to music. And a lot of people go through that when people tell them they can't do certain things. Now in the movie, the young lady has one arm. I'm sure she was told she'll never do this or do that because and that's what inspired me. So because she was able to do so much, even in her disability, And so when, like you said, the song is played at the end of the movie, and I want people to leave the theater knowing whatever situation they're in, God can help them. And no matter who told you can't do it, I want them to leave that theater saying, I can.
Well, and I just love this idea of merging, when God gives you a passion or when he gives you a gift or a talent, a lot of not 100% of the time, but most of the time, if we're certainly seeking his will for our life, he's going to be able to use that, whatever that passion is, and if we could have the courage to move past the obstacles sometimes, that's when God can shine even bigger.
Absolutely. I learned down through the years, all we have to do, and the Bible tells us, is to say yes. If we say yes, then he'll do the way, he'll make the way, he'll make it clean, a path, he'll make the path clear. All we have to do is say yes to his will, and he'll knock down every door that needs to be knocked down, And I've seen that so many times through my life. Yeah.
As we get ready to wrap up here, how are you doing? It's so nice to check in with you. I mean, now the obvious question is, we want more. I want more music from you. I need you to be working on other things. I saw you singing with some of your kids, some of the other family members, and it's like, man, you
got a big family, don't we?
Yeah, and they can all sing so good. Like, spread some of the love. Come on.
Well, you know what, Carley? Growing up in my household, I tell people this all the time. I thought everybody sang in their house because that's all we did. So we thought everybody was doing it. It's not until we started doing it professionally and stepping outside of it and looking in and saying, wow, this is kind of different. Everybody doesn't do this, and we've been blessed to have so many people in the family that can sing and that can write, and we're so glad that everybody is basically doing it for the Lord. That was a dream and of my mom and dad, that we would all stay in Christian music and use our gifts for God.
That's probably why he went ahead and just blessed so many of you.
Yeah, it really is. I believe that with all my heart. It really is. We were chosen to do and to work in his kingdom and to win as many souls as we can through our music. And it's what's amazing. When I wrote the song Tomorrow, we were on tour, and I never will forget this. The lady came up to me and she said, we were going to go on stage, and she said, I wanted to tell you that before I heard the song Tomorrow, I was a prostitute and a drug addict. She said, but after hearing that song, she said, the Lord cleaned my life up. I got married, I got saved. I got children now, and I'm just living for him. That is the reward to me, of what we do and what I've been able to do. And we won our first Grammy for that album Tomorrow. But the prize was hearing those type of testimonies from people. That does it all. That just makes it all worth it.
Yeah. So, I have goosebumps. I love it. Those are the stories I love to hear. Well, thank you so much for some time with you today. And we're going to be praying that this song blesses others as well, to encourage them to say, yes, I can. And if God has placed a passion in my life and a will to do something, that they can do that. And so we look forward, though. Like I said, we want more.
Okay.
So maybe we can check in again later and see what you have working on the pipeline there.
Absolutely.
For more information on the movie, go to icanmovie.info. And remember, opening weekend is very big for these movies, so go see it September 22nd if you can. Okay, now to the other movie coming out in theaters called Surprised by Oxford. It's based on the best-selling memoir by Dr. Carolyn Weber of the same name. But a fair warning, this movie is for a more mature audience, as it does have a couple uses of moderate profanity and drinking scenes. But I do think this film offers a realistic look at some of the questions that can be brought up during college.
This is a letter from the University of Oxford. It says I want a scholarship.
A full ride to Oxford? First time in the UK?
What gave it away?
The stars in your eyes.
I have a lot to do, and I need to stay focused.
TDH. Tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah, well, he's proving to be quite the distraction. There's a lot you don't know about me.
I know, and it's killing me. Come on.
Has anyone ever told you that you're difficult?
Well, this has been great.
More tea, anyone?
This is why I'm here, to work and earn my doctorate. And someone explained to me that I was in danger of losing my scholarship. Whatever you think this is, I can assure you, you're wrong.
You wear this brave face, but inside you're just as scared as everybody else.
You do not know what I've been through.
You pore over the words of dead people, but you don't let yourself feel those same things.
The strength you speak of, perhaps you're looking for it in the wrong place.
Talk to him.
Why?
Because you love him.
So what happens now?
That's the question, isn't it?
Well, Dr. Carolyn Weber, such an honor to get some time with you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. This is my honor as well.
A lot of times right now, we're talking about kids going off to college and maybe they either lose their faith or there's something, I just think your story is so intriguing that it almost flips the narrative completely around. Where it, in a way, it helped you discover your faith. So if you can, for those that maybe don't know your story a little bit, maybe kind of touch on that if you can.
Well, that's a wonderful question because I do have a heart for students and obviously for that age and that period as well. But I grew up essentially, Carly, loosely Catholic, early years. I had Hungarian grandparents who took me to Mass in Latin. I didn't really understand much but was very loved that way. And when I lost them and my mom raised us essentially as a single mother. My father was in and out of our lives and faced a lot of difficulties. I just slowly grew to a point of really not trusting an eternal father, right? Given my relationship at the time with my earthly one. And the fact that I would have defined myself as probably agnostic, maybe not atheist because I couldn't disprove God. But I think like so many of us in North America, I grew up public school system, really never cracked open a Bible. My idea of Jesus was not of a personal relationship, didn't really know who he was much historically. It's sort of the canned notions of Jesus we get through the media. I didn't understand or know the gospel, hadn't probably even heard it clearly. I sort of thought of Christianity as big-haired TV evangelists who take your money. So faith seemed to be very antithetical to intellectualism and to knowledge. Didn't really understand the concept of wisdom and how that might be different from knowledge. So by the time I got to college, I would have defined myself as very self-sufficient, very self-reliant, very independent, wanting to pursue these things and whatnot. And that you certainly couldn't hold faith and intellectualism in the same hand. And so I think a lot of people are like that.
That was my thought. I feel like America in a nutshell right now. So many more people are in that boat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even if you're coming from a place of faith, sometimes I've taught students for almost 30 years, right? You can come from a place of faith as well. And it's a time where it might be challenged or questions or whatnot, which is absolutely fine. Our God is not a fragile God. But it's college, for example, is a place to ask those kind of intellectual questions. But we're going to run up to that regardless of where we go. If it's not college, it'll be coworkers or anywhere else. And to really discern what that relationship is between us and God for ourselves.
And that's where it did change for you. C.S. Lewis, I loved kind of seeing how that was intertwined in your story. Was that all pretty accurate? I mean, is that what really kind of opened the door for you to go, wait a minute?
Yes. I mean, I knew of C.S. Lewis as a child, like most do, through the Narnia Chronicles, that sort of thing. I didn't know he was a theology writer. I eventually started reading more of his work because I first read A Severe Mercy by one of his students, an American student, actually named Sheldon Van Auken, and it's a very moving book. And it details how he and his wife became Christians studying in England. And I was not a believer at the time, but it really moved me because it asked so many wonderful questions and it showed his resistance. And it led me to read more about Lewis as well. And what I loved about Lewis was his accessibility. He would talk about these theological concepts, or he would talk about things that run the gamut in our human experience, from prayer to grief to loneliness, whatever. And do them in so many different genres that you felt like you were having a large cup of tea with him, and that he was, self-deprecating and not judgmental. He was looking at himself as well, and that kind of conversational tone. And I think that was what was lovely about Oxford, not to look at it through rose-colored lenses, or it is a magical place in many ways. But I think for North American, we're so used to running fast, especially North American students, holding multiple jobs, and we're so busy, and we put an emphasis on busyness, and all of our devices, all of our lives, all of our things lead to this opiate of busyness. And there, the British Academy has this crazy idea that you shouldn't work while you're a student. At least to start, that you should be thinking thoughts and you should be rolling ideas around. And so you are busy. There are high expectations from your professors and intense reading lists, but you're going to the pub with your friends. You're going for walks in Christchurch Meadows. You're digesting ideas. You're defending them. You're discussing them. You're taking responsibility for your positions. So when Jesus says to us, "Who do you say I am?" What's your answer? We don't stop to think about that. And the answer makes all the difference.
It sure does. I'll give you the last word. What do you hope people will take away when they watch your story?
Oh, I do hope, because it is still very surreal, and I never would have anticipated it ever happening. I hope that they take away the gift that I've been given and we're continuously given, is the fact that we are known and loved and seen, and that we matter, and it's okay to ask the big questions and to rest in them. I hope that film would be an invitation to ask those questions between us and friends, between us and coworkers, but also between us and our own souls, in the quiet that we have when we're impacted. Especially, I think film is such a powerful media for that. Reading is too, because it creates that quiet conversation, which is proof enough of grace for me, that only God sees our thoughts. That's actually pretty amazing. That sort of delightful privacy and accountability. But film takes it even a step further. It kind of has this way of settling on you, like the quiet of snow, and that you could sit and think about maybe some of the questions that it raises, that are the questions that really matter.
Yeah, well said. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I'm excited to tell people about this. And again, I hope it will get people to ask more questions and delve into that. And I love that you said God is not afraid of those questions. Bring them, ask away.
Right. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your support.
Again, Surprised by Oxford is in theaters nationwide September 27th. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Next week, we take a closer look at another movie coming to theaters this month. I am certain it's going to have a big impact and opportunity to share the gospel. I'll talk with both Willie and Corey Robertson and the director of The Blind. I hope you join me next week right here on your Christian Television Network.